Hello, my name is Brennan O'Shea, and this is my project for Music 10. Um, I am a marine and coastal science major here at the University of California, Davis, and the project I chose to do was to further explore the idea of um, music in cetaceans. I chose this topic to connect both worlds of my major and this class. And I'm planning on examining the idea of how cetaceans create songs and use them as a form of language. For a while, the idea of a whale song has been of great interest to marine biologists, and some musicians have found whale songs as an inspiration for many of their works. I want to present some of the scientific findings in this project and discuss the idea of how both fields can benefit in some way from these findings. So the first thing I'd like to go over is the basic biology of whales that allow them to produce music. In dolphins and in other toothed whales, such as orcas or false killer whales, their nasal sacs will vibrate and pass those vibrations through this fatty organ called a melon. This will transmit the sound waves into the water, and the sound waves bounce back after coming into contact with an object, and it travels through a fatty region in the lower jaw. It's not shown in this image, but then it transmits to the brain, which will interpret and produce an image. They can also communicate in this way, as well as map their environment. Baleen whales, on the other hand, they have a larynx, much like a human's, and although the mechanism is not fully understood since they do not expel air as a human would to make sound, it is thought that they use the air to vibrate this pink laryngeal sac, which transmits sound waves into the surrounding water, and that the air is recycled throughout the respiratory system. It is unknown the extent of which baleen whales can echolocate to map their environment, so scientists think that they primarily use these noises for communication amongst themselves. So the most widely studied whales are humpback whales. They are considered to be the most vocal of baleen whales. The purposes behind the songs are not entirely understood. There are 11 populations of humpbacks around the world, and each produces a unique sound and type of song that they produce. It's almost as if they have different accents or dialects. Scientists have also found that male whales tend to be more vocal than females. This leads scientists to believe that the songs are used for several reasons. One reason is that males can be using the songs to entice the females to mate, and that singing the song correctly demonstrates their reproductive potential and fitness. Also, these songs may serve as males communicate to each other to establish territories. These ideas are undergoing research and are not definitive, but are likely explanations. These songs were discovered when acoustical devices were used to detect submarines during the Cold War. It was in fact mathematicians, not biologists, were the first to notice its repetitive structure. David Rothenberg, a professor of music and philosophy at the New Jersey Institute of Technology, whose interests lie in animals and their sounds as music, along with Michael Deal, a visual designer, translated humpback songs into musical notation. This top image shows their work. As you can see, there are definite repeating patterns within these different colored shapes and images. Although it may seem quite different to our idea of what notation would look like, it actually shares quite a bit of of symmetry to 10th century Gregorian chants, as in this lower image here. With further modification, Rothenberg produced what his what it would actually translate to into sound. And so here is an example of what it actually sounds like along with the music. So that was primarily these, the first line and the second line of the music. So as you can see, there's repetitive nature of these sounds. So this leads into my next topic. Many artists are inspired by nature for music, and the Song of the Humpback Whale is of many examples. One example that I came across in researching for this project was the piece Vox Balaenae, which translates to Voice of the Whale by George Crumb. Here's a small excerpt from that piece. I found this piece to be an excellent example of how the sounds can be translated using human instruments and in combination with the whale songs. So as you can see, this portion of the piece was played on the flute. There are many numerous pieces as well, varying in how much is directly drawn or inspired from the whales themselves. Another thing that I came across was that some people even use the recording of whale songs to help them fall asleep, which I found interesting. These pieces also serve as ways for humans to connect with nature. Whales are threatened by many human influences. I would hope that the fact that they are complex enough to create this form of communication that we as humans share with them, that both scientists and the general public can view them on a more equal playing field, and that they deserve protection from the human forces that can cause them harm. One last thought I'd like to leave you with is that nature itself is of great importance to humans, whether it be for life-sustaining purposes or for more abstract purposes to create art. And with that, there needs to be continued protection for nature regardless of the reasoning. Thank you.